Okay. So one small thing which we are discussing in last class. Okay. So if you see here, what we are doing to get the data, what we are using, get string. What is the method we are using? Get string. Okay. But sometimes what will happen if your data is null? If your data is null, then get string will not support. Get string will throw some sort of exception. What is what I am telling is, okay. So get string will always throw some exception. Okay. So now what is the best way to work with it? Opt string. Similar to get string, you are having one of the method called opt. Okay. So I'll show you that when we'll use opt. Most of the time it is best practice, you should go for opt only. You should not go for get. Okay. So let me run this code. Okay, so we are running it. Run. Now, by mistake, if my student name is null, you never know. I mean, the object might have null data also, no? Got it right? So, if I'll make it null, what will happen? This code will fail. Why? Because we are using get string, and get string. Where is our get string? Get string, get, yeah. So get string, and as we know this value is null, so null is not supported by your get string. Then what is the one you should use? You should use opt string. So just to remove all those get string, just make it to operation, then it will support it. Okay, I'll show you. Let me run this code, then we will be able to find the problem. What is the exact problem? Huh? Okay, let it be running, then we'll come to know. Okay, let it be running, then we'll come to know what is the problem. First time it will take some time. Okay. Build is success. Now it should have to run. It is installing our APK. Yeah. So see what happened over there. Wi-Fi is connected. Okay. Now this, where is your what you are doing? Name, right? Name. We are doing put name. This is null. Okay. This is null. Now whenever we are doing get, what we are doing? Get string. We are doing null. Okay. So now why it's supported? Because here nothing is coming now. Why? Because it has thrown one exception here. We might have found the exception. Okay. Now if we go to our logcat, we go to our logcat. If we go to our logcat, do we have the latest code? Okay. We'll just change it to no filters. Okay. Now are you able to see here? Some error should come. Okay. So let's run once again. And remove it. And what is our project name? Web service exam project. Why nothing is coming? Not sure. Nothing is coming here. But what should happen is it should throw some exception. Okay. So what is the best practice we should use? We should use opt always. So here instead of get string, opt is the best one. Okay. So opt is the best one. Opt is the best one. Which is the one? Opt. Okay. You can just change. So if you're using opt, no need to have this also. This also. This also. This also. Okay. So let's try to do one more way. Okay, what I'll do, I'll make it get string and I'll pass null here. So what I'm doing, I'm trying to get the value of null. Okay. So now if we'll do, it will give you some exception. But if we'll have this opt, if we'll have this opt, then it will not give you problem. So what is the best way to go? Opt is the best way. You should not go for get. So get will fail in case of null scenarios. So we'll just change it everywhere. What to do? We just make it to opt. Opt string. Okay. If you're using opt string, no need to handle the exception. It will automatically work for you. It will not throw the exception. It will not throw the exception. It will not throw the exception. Okay. So hence what we understood, hence it is best practice to use opt XXS. What is opt XXS means? Opt then data type, whatever data type. If it is integer, opt int. Okay. So people ask this question: what is the difference between opt and get? And what should be answer? Opt supports null value also, but get does not support null value. Okay. So it is because opt supports null value, but get does not. Get doesn't support. Okay. So this opt will also work exactly same as your get only. Only the extra advantage is there, it will support null value. So here also what to do, we will just change it to opt. Okay. Here also what you can do opt JSON. So everywhere, whenever you are having those get, you can change it to opt. Same only. The way how we are doing. Okay, so suppose I am having some name called status. Okay, then it will be given. Okay. Now second difference is, try to understand, get get, whenever you use get, you must have try catch block. You must have handled the exception. Okay. So for get, what is the exception we must handle? JSON exception must be handled. Must be handled by try catch. Must be handled by try catch. As it's a compile time exception. It is a compile time exception. Okay. Op, what is op? Not required to handle this exception. Okay. If you are working with op, not required to handle the exception. This is the second difference. Okay, so if you see here, same thing. This data we are getting from op, not from let. Yeah. Now let's try to understand what is this Volley is all about. Okay, so I believe this is okay for us to go ahead. Okay, first we will open that Postman. What is Postman? Postman is the software by which you can test the API, whether your API is working or not. A web service call which is developed by your server side guy, it can be J2EE, it can be Python, any other language. So if you want to test whether your web service is working fine or not, whether there is some problem in the call, then what you do, you should always use this Postman tool to check it. So there are two tools. What are those? Postman and ARC. So advanced REST client is the one. Anyone you can use, but Postman is more frequently used. More frequently. So try to understand. This is your URL. When you are using get call, okay. When I will click on the send, I am getting some data. Are you able to see? These are the data. These are the data which you are getting. Okay. So now in this particular web service, some server guy have written something, and this they have written in PHP. So PHP is one of the server language basically. So you can write some server language in PHP. So PHP, somebody had written this code and they are giving the response called this one. And what is the result? 200. 200 means success, and this is your result. Okay. So similar to this. I mean, if you want to see in your browser, let's try to hit it. Sometimes in browser it will work, sometimes it does not work. So let's try to see whether it is working. Yeah, it is working. Now what is your requirement is, okay, I'll share this particular URL. Okay, don't share this with anybody. Why? Because this is from one of the company. So company guy had given me, so you should not share it. If you share it, then they will be in trouble. Okay, so you should not share this. Okay, you use it. Now this is the URL. When we hit it, what is the thing we are getting? We are getting this some sort of ID, nakshatra ID. So all the nakshatra are coming. We are having Graha Nakshatra, right? So what are nakshatras are there now? All the nakshatras are coming here. So what is the nakshatra name? Something like Vishakha is one of the nakshatra, then Vishakha, then Sravistra is one of the nakshatra, okay, Revati is one of the nakshatra, then Uttar, something. All these are nakshatra basically, okay. So what we will do is we will try to hit this particular URL from our application and get this particular data in our mobile. Now, which is the best library you should try it? Volley. What is the one? Volley. So we'll try to integrate Volley with our application, and we'll try to get this data. I mean the data which we have got. Okay. So now, if you want to integrate with Volley, this is the steps which you have to follow. Same as your first one. If you remember Spring one which we are doing. Right? So what you have to do? You have to go here. These things which you have already done. Okay. So Volley. Okay. What you can do, this is the one. Okay, so I'll just copy it, and where I'll pass, I have to pass it inside your where dependencies. Okay, dependencies is the one, right? So we'll go to our Gradle, we'll go to our app. Are you able to see here we are having one of the dependencies. So I want to import Volley library. Then what you have to do? Very simple, go over there and you have to pass this compile. So just click on this. Okay, just add this. Okay, and just sync now. Now automatically whatever jars are required for Volley will be downloaded. In earlier version it was not like this. If you are working with your Eclipse, you have to manually download, then put it in your project. But these days no, Android Studio will automatically download. So now see, it is downloading something. Okay, so it is connecting this particular server and downloading this library. What is the library called? Volley. So it will do automatically. You need not to worry about that. Okay, so it will keep on doing. By the time we'll go ahead with this. Okay, so now if you want to call the server, how to call the server? They will give you some sort of code. Okay, so I will show you what is the code. So you have to code like this. You have to code like this. Okay, so indexing is done. So it is done. Okay, now what you want to do? You want to call to server and get the data. Okay, so what you do? You for time being here anywhere, maybe it is finished here. Okay, you write one of the method called get server data. What is the method I am writing? Get server data. Okay, now let's create one method called get server data. Create a method get server data. So this is done. So here is the place where we will write this Volley library call, so that it will connect with the server, get the data and show it in your UI. Okay, that is our requirement. So how you can do? First we will try this particular URL, then we can go for any other things if we require it. Okay, so now we will go here. Wait. So you just need to copy this particular code. Okay, copy this code and paste it. This came, we can remove this also. It came twice. Yeah, twice it came. Okay, so we will remove it. Okay, now you go over there, you have to import all those. So alt enter, import it. JSON URL will give it. What is the URL? Response, just alt enter, automatic import class. Okay, here also Volley error, import class. Toast also Volley error, import class. Got it, right? This show JSON is one of the methods. So for timing, let's remove it. Okay. Now, what is the JSON URL? JSON URL is nothing but the URL which you are writing. So this is the URL which you are writing, right? So you just have to get it. So just make it something like string. Okay, JSON URL, and what is the URL we want to hit? We want to hit this particular. Got it, right? So now, if you remember that Spring example which we have done, there what we are doing? We are writing async tasks, all those blah 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 blah. But here no need to write async tasks. Your Volley library will automatically run those data in your background thread. It will, so you need not to worry. Who will worry? Volley library will worry for you. Okay. So now let's try to look into this. So now if some response will come, I want to print it in my console. Then what to do? We will write something. Create new toast. Okay, and response. And what is the response? This is the response. The response which is coming. Okay, response. That's all. Let's run this code. So we'll check it whether it is coming from the string request or not. If string request is not giving you data, then you have to have some JSON object request. Other thing will be there. We'll check it. We'll try with this. If it is working fine, otherwise we will go for that. Okay. Yeah. Now, sorry. After writing this is the request call. Now you have to put all the request in queue. What is that called? Request queue. Okay. So you can request queue code will also be there. So how to have the request queue? This is the code. Okay. So you just have to copy this and paste it over there. So just below that, whenever your request call is there, you just paste it. Okay. You have to create one request queue. This is mandatory. Okay. So now we'll try with the string request. If string request is working fine, if it is not working, then we'll go for the object request. That we'll see after some time. Okay. Because when I see this, what is the response? Response is coming as a object, so it might not work. Okay. So we'll check it. So yeah, it ran, is it? Let's check it in our code. Okay, where is your, okay, this is the one. We will try to run once again. So see here, when I am running it, are we getting anything? It should tell us something. It did not run or what? We will try to uninstall and install it. Okay, so we've done it. So we are writing this get server data. Okay, and let's try to have one toast so that we will find out whether it is working or not. Okay, so top toast create toast calling server. One of the toast is there. I want to see whether this is getting called or not. So let it be running. So it's running. Let's try to see what is the output we are getting. See, are you able to see all the response came over there. Did you check it? And I'll run once again. Okay, so observe very closely. When you run it, see some response. See what is the response? Gotra blah 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 blah. Now this data is JSON data. You have to parse it and show it in your UI. Got it, right? So now I got the JSON data. I want to show. Suppose I want to show it in my content value. So for timing, we will set it in your content value. So we will set it the response. So how will you set it? Here is the place. So content value dot set response, and what you want to set? Response. Okay, so we'll just use response. Okay, let's run this code. Now what will happen? Whatever the content value should show our response. Whatever the response are coming from our server. So this content value should become all the data should come. Okay. So what the data is coming, see here, all the data which is coming, it is set it in our content view. All the data are coming. Are you able to see? Now you got the data. This data is coming from server. This is not the data. Earlier whatever we were hard coding names and name. Now this is not hard coded. It is coming from server. Okay. Now what you have to do? You have to make some. You have to parse it, because this is JSON, right? This is JSON. You have to parse it and show it in the UI. So how to show it in the UI? You have to use your selection widget. Selection widget you have to use, right? So how to get the selection widget? What we'll do is we will have one button here. Okay, so we'll have one button here. When you click on this button, I'll go to the next screen and show the UI. What is the UI I want to show? I want to show all those names. Okay, all those, I mean in terms of your whatever data you will come basically. Okay, so for that what you need, you have to parse it. So how to parse? You can write one of the method here called parse data, and I'll give it. I will send this response like this. Okay, I will send this response. Now you have to parse this data. So let's try to create one of the method called parse data. Parse data is the method. Where is it? Some problem. Create parse method inside this. Okay. So parse data. You have to parse this data. So this is a JSON string. Now how to parse it? What sort of data we are getting? We are getting the data in this way. So what is the outside? It is your object. Okay. So first you have to convert this into JSON object. JSON object equal to, tell me how will do, new JSON object. Okay, now luckily this string worked. Sometimes it will not work, then you have to get the request as a JSON object. JSON object request, similar to string request, one of the request will be JSON object request. Okay, so luckily it worked for us now. Sometimes it might not work. Okay, so that time you have to use JSON request object. Okay, yeah. So now this is the one. Now we will convert it into your JSON object. Okay, it will tell us to do this try catch. We will put this try catch block over there. JSON exception. Okay, you got this object now. Now you got this object. Inside this, what you need this. What is this Gotra? Tell me, what is a Gotra? Gotra is an object or array? It is an array. Why? Because you are having square bracket. Okay, so now from there, if you write this code, first we will complete it. So always it is best practice you do like this. Okay, so you copy here, paste it. So see here, when I am starting array, it is ending here. Able to understand? Red color is both side red, means it is ending here. So I have to get this array from object. Similar way how we are getting the phone numbers, right? So here I have to get the number. Okay, so how will you do? Tell me, guide me. How will you do? I need the JSON array. So how will you do? JSON array. This is the Gotra basically. Okay, so how to get the JSON array? JSON object dot opt JSON array. Very simple. Now what is the key? Key is nothing but Gotra. Okay, so we will go here. What is the key? Gotra is your key. Just pass this key. Why I am using opt? Because opt is the best way, as we have discussed now. Okay, yeah. Now after getting this JSON array, what you want to do? Okay, what you want to do? You have to iterate through the array. Then only you will get this all the nakshatra, right? This Ashwini, then what is Bharani, all those things are there, right? So how to iterate through the array? Tell me. You have to use for loop. So how to use for loop? For int I equal to 0. I is less than, tell me, JSON array dot length, then I plus plus. Got it, right? So now you got the reference of the array. Now you got all this array, you got this array. Now you are going through one by one. Okay, so now what is the object you are getting? See, this is the object which you are getting. Inside JSON array you are having object. Inside array what is there? Object is there, right? So first you have to get the object. From object you have to do this nakshatra name. Okay, so how to get the object name? First I have to get the object. So how to get it? JSON object 1 equal to, what you have to do? Tell me. JSON array dot opt JSON object, and you pass the index. Okay, now what will happen? It will keep on going 1, 2, 3, 4. It will keep on going. Whatever data that all will come. Okay. Now you got the JSON object. JSON object means this one. This one you got. Now from object what you need? You need the name. Got it, right? So what we can do? I need name. So I will have something like string Gotra name equal to JSON object 1 dot, tell me, opt string. Very simple. Inside object I need string. So what you do? You just pass this key. It should give us those. Okay. So Gotra name. Got it, right? Yeah. So I got the Gotra name, and for timing, let's try to create one data structure, because those are dynamic data. You cannot use array. Array is fixed in size. You need some dynamic data structure. So what is the data structure I can go for? I can go for array list, because array list will grow dynamically. Okay, so we can have one private. Best practice what? Always left side interface and list of string. Okay, and you just name this called Gotra list equal to, you initialize new array list. Okay, new array list, and you just add all the data here. Where we are doing? We are doing here, right? So array list. How to add it? Add is the method name. And what you want to add? Gotra name. You got the Gotra name, right? Gotra name list. Okay. Yeah. Now suppose in your content value, I don't want to set the response. I want to set only the Gotra name. Then how to do, tell me? You just have to use here, very simple. I can use dot set text, okay. So below are gotra names, below are the gotra names, okay. And in here what I'll do, I just want to show in my view. So what is the best way? Append I can use, append. I want to go to the next line, so how to go to the next line? /n, and I will show this gotra name. Then what should happen? Only gotra name should come. And what all names will come? This Ashwini, then what will come? Bharani, then all those names should keep on coming basically. Okay, so let's run this code. Let's run this code. It should give me that. Okay, now it will not be JSON response basically. It will give you the concrete data which you are getting from your server. See what sort of data we are getting. So are you able to see what is the data I am getting? Below are the gotra names: Ashwini, Bharani, Kritika, Rohini. All those things are coming. Got it, right? So these are the dynamic data which is coming from server. Okay. Now what is your assignment? Assignment is very simple. You already have this list, right? You are having the list. You have to show this data. The data we are having in the text view, you have to show it in the list view. Got it? What is the requirement? You got the data structure, right? Very simple. You have one list view. You have one list view. Okay. And what are three things you will require? Tell me. View, data, adapter. So view will create list view in your XML. Data, what is data? Data is nothing but this gotra list is your data. And what is the adapter? You have to create one adapter. New array list, array adapter. You create and set it. That's all. Very simple. Got it, right? This assignment you do that. So tomorrow we'll try to do that. Okay. So like this you have to call the web service using your Volley library. Okay, so have one list view where you show all the gotra, whatever gotras are coming. Okay, so I think here only you will get this. So this is the URL which you have to get the gotra. This is nakshatra. You can have gotra also. Okay, you go here, you type gotra. So it is not working. Gotra is working. No, gotra is not working. Okay, so use nakshatra only. Yeah, gotra is also there. If you pass gotra, it will give you all the gotra. If you pass nakshatra, so this is the one. Okay, in example only I am passing. Okay, so in my project here, this is gotra. This is nakshatra. Okay, so now what you do? This is the assignment. Okay, so try to understand here. Here you show all the nakshatra. And have one button here. When you click on this, what should happen? It should go to the next screen and it should show all the gotra. Got it, right? So if it is nakshatra, next you go and show the gotra. Gotra also list you. Try to do that. Okay, very simple. Okay. So I have already given this particular URL also, the web service URL from where you will get the gotra. Okay, so this is very important. Most of the company works in this way only. The one which you have seen now, same work, every company. Okay, you have to connect with the web service, get the data, show it in the UI. And how to show it in there, we have already seen in the selection widget. Okay, so you do this. Okay. What? This site? Yeah, this is the web service call basically. So this web service is developed by PHP language. No matter we need JSON, right? JSON response. That's why we use this JSON and XML, because you don't know. I mean, PHP might understand object or not. You never know, right? So that's why we must have one common medium which can be understood by all the languages. And JSON can be understood by everybody. Whether it is PHP, whether it is Python, whether it is J2EE, it will not matter. Basically, your code will remain same. Okay. So how to use Volley? You go to your this one app. You use this compile like this. Automatically that library will be down. But again, internet connection is mandatory. If you don't have internet connection, you will not be able to do that. Okay. You go there, then you have to write the code. So very simple. And this code will remain same. Only what will change? This URL will change. Now if I need Gotra, what I'll do? Tell me. I just have to change it. Change this URL. Okay. So if I'll change this URL, it will become your. It will give you the Gotra. That's all. Simple. If I run this code, now what will come? It will not give me the nakshatra. It should give me the Gotras. Okay. So please do this assignment. It is very important. I am telling again and again. Most of the your system test will be based on this only. The one which you have done. Sometimes this string request will not work. You have to do that JSON request, JSON object request, or JSON array request. So most of the company, if you go for system test, you will get this sort of questions only. You have to call the so now calling server. Okay. Yeah, it got the Gotra below the Gotra names. Why it didn't come? Okay, for Gotra here it is not Gotra. Some other name is there. Okay, so that's why. So if you want to see this, where is your? This is your Gotra, right? So we have to parse it. Now you have to remove it. But to parse it, Gotra ID, Gotra name. So you have to change it to Gotra name. So here also what you do? You have to change it to Gotra name. Because for Nakshatra it was Nakshatra name, right? Here what is it? It is your Gotra name. So Gotra name you have to use. Very simple. So because parsing will change, right? Depending upon your data. Okay, calling server. Then it is getting the Gotra name. Yeah, see, you got all the Gotra name. What is Gotra name? Agastya, Atsya, blah blah blah, whatever Gotra name.
So in JSON you can see all the servers.
Server you cannot see because they have written the code, right? So mobile means your client, similar to Facebook. Okay, so when you post something, what will happen? In your mobile you are not posting. You are posting through internet to server. Facebook server will be there where you are posting. Similarly here also what we are doing, we are getting the data from server. So that is web service call what we are doing. So as a application developer, your control is only to call it or change it. How they are doing, don't worry. That is language dependent. Correct. Okay, so correct. So if PHP guy is there, PHP he will do. If J2EE is J2EE he will do. Okay. If something Python. So you cannot learn everything, right? So that is depending upon the server person. You don't need to worry. We will not worry because we are Android developer. Okay, so we are client side developer. Correct. Okay, otherwise you have to learn everything. I mean, everything you have to learn. Okay. But it is best practice. You should do some sort of examples also of PHP, all those language, whatever the language are there. I think any of you know PHP. PHP you know. PHP you know, right? Okay. So PHP you can deploy some data and check it.
PHP is server.
Correct. You can scripting language. Okay, so